What is up, guys? It's Mateo's 2020 Politics here, and today I'm here for a new video. Pretty interesting one, actually. So, in case you haven't heard about the scandal, there's a man named Alex Morse, a Justice Democrat, running for Massachusetts' 1st Congressional District. Yeah, I think it's the 1st. And he's going against a guy named Richard Neal. Now, this man is by far the most corporate politician in Congress. So last year it was actually reported that he took the most PAC money, the most money in PAC donations of any other congressperson. So literally, he is the most corporate politician in Congress, right? So technically, at least from my point of view, he'd be worse than Mitch McConnell, because I look at everything through a populist lens. That's why I prefer Mitch McConnell over this dude. So I don't need to emphasize how much we have to just get this guy out of office. I mean, we need to push to get Richard Neal out of office harder than we push to get Eliot Engel out of office, okay? This guy's even more corporate. He's worse. I mean, he was on Donald Trump's side during the pandemic. He was okay with cutting taxes for the rich instead of trying to help the poor, which is the common sense thing to do during the pandemic, right? So a few weeks ago, a scandal broke out, and there were a bunch of allegations alleging that Alex Morse had been involved in intimate and romantic relationships with college students. In addition to that, he was also accused of trying to message them on like Instagram, social media, and just overall being a creep. Except there's one problem here. They're college students. They're 18 plus. They're adults. What is so alarming about this? But nevertheless, people don't really click on the article to see the full context. If you would, then it'd be very vague. They didn't even mention what years these allegations came from. It was just, Alex Morse has been getting into sexual relationships with college students. He's texting them on Instagram. That's it, right? So people are going to read the headline to damage Alex Morse. And it truly is frustrating how the corporate Democrats can't just let an election slide. They can't just let the progressive win, and frankly, it's childish because they can't just accept that a corporatist is going to lose. They have to just try to kneecap the progressive and go after him nonstop, try to cheat the race, try to smear progressives, and help the corporatists win re-election. Ironically, it'll actually make them lose because, they're corporatists. Populism is more popular, right? Because a recent poll just came out claiming that Medicare for All had a 69% approval rating among the American public. So it really doesn't make any sense how these corporate Democrats put in all of their effort, everything they can, to smear the hell out of the progressive challenger, just so that the corporate incumbent will lose in the general election. It just doesn't make any sense. It just truly shows how out of touch they are. So anyways, these allegations turned out to be completely fake. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, allegedly, the main organizer of these allegations, was a strong supporter of Richard Neal, remember, the incumbent corporatist, and he wanted a seat in his administration. So it was a smear attempt. He tried to orchestrate all of this, and apparently they'd even been planning it for a year, as long as a year. So they wanted to orchestrate all of this just to take Alex Morse down, let, Representative Neal win re-election, so they can get seen in his office. Now, that is some Machiavellian type SHIT. That really is some dark, opportunistic DC type stuff. So, what ended up happening? Well, the allegations actually ended up helping the Morse campaign. So last week, Alex Morse raised more money than ever, and he actually outraised Richard Neal. He outraised him. In addition to that, a poll taken a few days ago showed Alex Morse catching up on Richard Neal. So he used to be trailing Mr. Neal by 10 points, but in this most recent poll, I'll pull it up now, it had Morse at 41 points and Neal at 46 points, so only 5 points behind, and undecided 13%. So that number, the 13% undecided, that's crucial. That really is. And something else interesting, 21% of people polled said the allegations, the scandal, encouraged them to support Morse, while only 18% were encouraged to support Neal. Wow. that is a definition of something backfiring. That's insane. The College Democrats organization came out, claimed Alex Morse was essentially this creep who kept preying on college students, although they were of his age, and tried to kneecap him. They tried to smear him because they saw this guy was representing a threat to Congressman Neal. And it was found out that his allegations were fake. The people who were involved were all supporters of the Neal campaign. They wanted seats in his office. They were essentially doing it for personal gain, and they actually tried to erase the records of their allegations after this was found out. So it's a miracle, really, because what happens most of the time is that when there's an allegation, even if there are some results that might help the person being accused, what are people really going to remember at the end of the day? They're going to remember, oh, this guy was accused of rape. They're not going to remember the actual results. In this instance, it's different, however, because now, clearly in the back of people's minds, they know that this was a smear. They read the Intercept because Intercept articles were the ones that first broke this story, and they realized, wow, this was an attempt to kneecap Morse, so they decided to support him. That's something to be grateful for if you are indeed a progressive. Because I don't want to alienate my conservative audience. Because I was worried when these scandals broke out. I was worried that Mr. Morse was gonna kind of resign. He's gonna drop out of the race because this was hurting him too much. But it's actually helped him. So, without further ado, please, 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 if you live in Massachusetts' 1st Congressional District, please vote for Alex Morse, okay? Please do it. If you don't live there, at the very least, shout him out on Twitter or something. Maybe donate a few dollars to him. Anything you can. Because Richard Neal is the most corporate Democrat in Congress. The most corporate politician in Congress, taking the most corporate PAC money. So we need to get him out. It is urgent to get this guy out. Even more so than someone like Nancy Pelosi. Because, sure, she has lots of power, but she isn't as corporate as this guy is. This guy is just the worst you can get in terms of anti-populism, right? So please, if you live around the Holyoke area in that district, vote for Alex Morse because he's going to fight for you. He's going to fight for Medicare for all, for the Green New Deal. He's a climate change fighter, okay? So vote for him. We need to get out Richard Neal. He's the worst of the worst, okay? Thank you for watching this video, guys. Remember to please do everything you can, pour in all of your effort to help Alex Morse. I've been phone banking for him personally. I'm a member of Justice Democrats. So do everything you can to get Alex Morse out of office. Thank you for seeing this video, and bye.